better picture. Surprise, I see it's all in your eyes. Open your eyes. It's a better picture. As clear as the sky, I know you're down. If you're down to ride, it'll be fine.
Welcome. My name is Alana Brownstein. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the director of New Work, Company One Theater.
I'm Africa Smith. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm Company One's New Works producer in residence, supported by the National New Play Network.
Before we get started, we would like to begin by acknowledging that Company One Theater produces work in Boston, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Wampanoag, Nipmuc, and Massachusetts people.
We affirm that it is important to understand and honor the history of the Indigenous land we occupy, while recognizing this acknowledgement is insufficient and does not undo the legacies of violence and displacement of Indigenous people. We continue to take steps towards a future of decolonization and reconciliation.
We're so glad that you're joining us today for Reproductive Liberty and Body Justice for All, a digital event featuring readings of responsive short plays by Chris Eli Black, Pompey Das, Kyan Douglas, and Raquel Sahadio. Prompted by the recent dismantling of the protections laid out in Roe v. Wade, these four members of last season's Vote Lab, all playwrights of color, all rising voices of the American theater, chose one item each from the National Network of Abortion Funds list of demands as a jumping off point for a short play and an exploration of the actions we can take together for a more just society.
We've also invited Greer Hamilton, a board member of the Eastern Massachusetts Abortion Fund, to speak about what her organization does and how folks can work towards reproductive justice and health equity in their own neighborhoods.
In a few minutes, C1's playwright in residence, Kirsten Greenwich, is going to tell us a bit more about the Vote Lab, why we practice responsive writing, and the multiple ways that playwrights can find support in creative and professional development with Company One Theater. But first, we wanted to provide some context for this episode.
We know the repeal of Roe v. Wade will have repercussions that extend far beyond the status of abortion laws. Reproductive justice is a broad issue that includes everything from family planning to trans-inclusive and gender-affirming healthcare, to reducing maternal mortality rates, to increasing access for care in systemically under-resourced communities.
And it's not a standalone issue. Health equity is inextricably linked to climate justice, to housing justice, to the abolition and decarceration movement, and many more. As our guest Greer Hamilton notes, nearly all of our justice issues are connected to the fight for bodily autonomy.
C1's Vote Lab writers are interested in how we tell stories and take action in a post-Roe world, and they're doing it with their own unique artistic voices. Chris Eli Black brings us an interpersonal carceral nightmare that investigates the power of a single voice.
Pompey Das throws a bomb with their call of anger in the style of 1930s social activist political theater, complete with direct address, masks, and forceful calls to action.
Kyan Douglas has crafted a gender horror story that turns the genre's tropes on its head and asks some probing questions about how our culture makes monsters and defines the monstrous.
And Raquel Sahadio looks to her own childhood in Florida as fodder for an exploration of how young people can bring one another along in the fight for a better world.
Now, in our 24th season, Company One creates community at the intersection of art and social change. We see theater as a pathway to social justice and civic engagement.
It's a public art and a public good.
We invite audiences and artists to work together in redefining what it means to use art as activism in Boston and beyond.
Thanks for being with us today. And now, please meet Kirsten Greenwich, who leads our Volt Lab and works with playwrights across C1's new work programs.
Hello, my name is Kirsten Greenwich. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I'm artist in residence here at Company One. Thanks for joining us. So our Volt Lab showcase this year, as it is every year, is mission-specific, responsive writing. This genre of playwriting is important in that it's designed to prompt playwrights and community members to engage with questions that require immediacy. As artists, playwrights bear witness and raise voice, and sometimes that work, the thinking, the writing, and the rewriting that we all know too well as playwrights, demands that attention be paid in the moment rather than over prolonged sense of time, those 2 or 3 years that a play can take to write. As the theater practitioner Anne Bogart teaches, you move before you are ready. The rest will meet you where you are. And this is the ethos of our Volt Lab showcase this year, as it is every year. While we hope you enjoy the plays presented tonight, we also hope you feel a sense of urgency and collective action as well. And that you too, like these writers, are moved to act with urgency and immediacy, whether that is through your art or your civic engagement. Thanks for tuning in.
Hello, my name is Chris Eli Black, and my play, If Hearts Speak Last, Word Will Let Them Break, focuses on the unjust criminalization of women, especially women of color, when it comes to reproductive rights in the United States, through a story about a singer who was sitting in a jail holding cell and her lawyer who was trying to put the pieces together.
If Hearts Speak Last, the World Will Let Them Break, a Chris Eli Black play. The when, the right now. The where, a holding cell in a county jail, America. At Rise, we're in a small holding cell. Jamie sits alone, frozen in place, her arms crossed, not just because she is upset, but because she is cold, she is alone. On the other side of the cell stands Sophia, just as frozen, but more so out of sternness, trying to figure out what angle to take, what the right move to make is.
Do you know what I like about music? About singing?
That's not why I'm here, Jamie.
Clearly. But would it hurt for us to have some sort of normal conversation?
I don't know how much time we have.
That's where you're wrong, counselor. You don't know how much time you have. Me, I'm here. I'm stuck. I don't have the key. But you, within the hour, you'll be back wherever you live, eating a microwave dinner in front of the TV. That's the difference between the two of us, me and you.
Fine. I'm listening.
My singing voice and my regular voice are so different. When I sing, it's like I'm a different person, like I'm someone else, someone new. When I'm just me, just talking like I'm talking to you now, I don't know how I feel. Not great. But when I'm on a stage or something and that other person comes out, it's like a drug. That's how good it feels. She sounds confident and beautiful and sure of herself, sure of every note. And there's no singing here. There's no music, there's no life.
I want to get you out of here.
That doesn't sound like a sure thing.
Not one of those lawyers that are going to promise you anything. The only thing I can tell you for sure is that I'm going to try my best. And I will. The rest is a juggle that isn't fully in my hands, no matter how much I wish it were.
So my brother called you?
We went to high school together.
My brother can afford you?
That's not important right now.
So then what is important right now? I'm asking you because you seem to have more answers than I do, even though I'm the one in here.
They didn't tell you why you were arrested?
They took me from the hospital. If they said anything, I was too medicated and too in pain to really hear any of it. But what the hell does that matter anyways? I didn't do anything.
Are you an actress, Jamie?
I'm sorry?
I asked if you were
No,
an actress.
I heard you. I just don't understand why.
If you are an actress.
I'm not an
then-
actress. I'm a singer.
Well, I need you to start acting. I need you to be able to act as if we've been the closest and the bestest of friends since birth.
Why?
Because it's the only way I'm going to get the information that I need from you.
I'm not going to lie to you.
I believe you. But just because you won't lie to me doesn't mean you'll be fully honest.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Here's the thing about people. Most of us, we don't trust. It's natural, it's instinctual. We want to know if there's ulterior motives, bad intentions, whether we're being used, the list goes on and on. But you know this because you're human. Even when we think we're being honest, we're leaving things out, the smallest things. It may not even be intentional, or we may think it's not important, or don't want people judging us for our decisions. Again, the list goes on and on. When it's someone we're more familiar with, though, it becomes a little easier to deliver the truth without any holes in it.
So we're best friends.
The best since birth, practically
Should we rate each
sisters.
other's here?
Why don't you catch me up on what's been going on with you first?
Where do you want me to start?
With the pill,
What pill?
misoprostol.
How do you know about that?
Jamie, you're being charged with second-degree murder.
You can't be serious.
I'm sorry.
What the fuck? What? No. No. No, this has to be a joke. You had so much shit to say, but you didn't think it was important to start out with that? To tell me the reason I'm here? Really great lawyer you are. One of a kind. Totally worth whatever your price is. Bravo.
I thought you knew.
I
I
did.
thought you knew.
I
You
did.
need to calm down. There's no point in getting emotional.
I know you didn't just say that. Why the hell would I be emotional about this?
Because it's not doing you any good. It's getting us nowhere.
So then what do you want from me?
The full truth. When the police spoke to you at the doctor, did you tell them you lost the baby?
Yeah,
But that's not the full truth, is it?
I did lose the baby. I woke up bleeding in the worst pain of my life.
You took misoprostol, otherwise known as an abortion pill.
I didn't think that was a crime.
Ordering the pill isn't. Taking the pill isn't. Taking the pill after a certain point in your pregnancy is.
So that makes me a killer? What I choose to do to my body with my own good reason makes me a criminal.
To some, yes, that's exactly what it makes you.
I really do love singing.
I need you to focus.
I love singing so much. But sometimes the gig's a low paying and in places full of assholes. But a job is a job. And cash money is cash money. So you go and you put on a show. And then sometimes one of those assholes offers to buy you a drink and you say sure because why not? Then you leave. But that asshole is following you out in the parking lot. And next thing you know, you're in a place you don't know. You're feeling like a person you don't know. You're a stranger in your own body. Then one day you start to feel sick. You find out that that asshole has been living inside of you. You don't know for how long. You haven't been showing. You just want to get rid of it because you have to. You have to. Is that so wrong? Am I so wrong for not wanting to fight that war inside of me? You want me to live with that till the day I die? I'd rather be in prison. My life has already been taken from me. Everything has been taken from me. Everything but my voice.
I wish it were that simple.
To you, maybe it isn't, but to me, it's pretty fucking clear. I'm a murderer. What's that make him? What bars is he behind?
Tell me his name.
I don't know it. We weren't friends, counselor. Even if I did, he'd breathe more fresh air than I ever will again. He'd sleep at night while I scream.
You told the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
I'm still going to try my best. I'm still here to help you.
There are millions of me's, counselor. What are you going to do to help them?
If you still have your voice, that means you can still sing. So that's good.
Now, question for you, counselor.
Sure.
What good is a voice to an invisible woman.
If it's your voice, it's as good as life itself. Because, and I think you know this, at the end of the day, it's all you have. It's all you've got. It's easy for you to sit here and rot, and it'd be even easier for me to walk out and go on to my next client like half the other lawyers in this country would right now. It'd be so easy for the both of us to shut up and shut down and become shadows. That voice, your voice, they want to take it away. That's the goal, to empty you out until you've run dry. So I'll throw a question back at you.
What?
What good is a voice that listens to other voices that aim to silence it?
No good.
No good. You have your voice. Even here, you have it.
Jamie stands. She closes her eyes, spreads her arms. She starts to hum a song. She hums a better song, a song that brings light in a place that has been so dark, a song that brings light into a world that has been so dark. It is her song of escape. It is her song of hope. It is her freedom song. Blackout. End of play.
Hi, my name is Vampi. I want to thank Company One for encouraging me to write this script and producing the stage reading. I want to thank Frontline QT BIPOC, abortion doulas, and reproductive justice advocates who gave feedback on this script. Culture is made and produced in community. Content warning: script references illegal abortion, medical violence, rape, child sexual assault, suicide, debilitating pain, incarceration. This all too is intimately connected to the right to choose. Those who made entrance to this world via uterus need to show up following direction from reproductive justice organizers of color, effective immediately. As Ash Williams says, there is no going back. Please contribute to abortion funds, bail funds, abortion doula trainings. Organize your cultural communities. Follow Sister Song, the national network of abortion funds, where you can check out the fund you can support in your state and those of the states affected by the recent repeal. There's a lot you can do. 10,000 plus years into patriarchy, and we would think men refusing to participate in patriarchy and instead supporting those most oppressed is literally the least radical action one can take. Both and all, y'all. Take a hit for women who raise you. Take a hit for femmes who show up. Get thy dick punched. This play is dedicated to people born with uteruses and multiply targeted. We don't need to be pregnant or even have a uterus anymore to be respected. Leona Hale, 26, black woman, survived, shot 5 times with hands up by Kansas City police, then handcuffed, May 27. Aaron Lynch, 26, white transgender man, who was shot and killed by police in McLean, Virginia on July 7th. Sisters, age 15 and 17, of the Dalit caste, raped and hung to death by 6 upper caste men in Uttar Pradesh, September 14. Maisa Amini, 22, ethnically Kurdish woman, beaten to death by Iranian police for clothes she was wearing on September 3rd. 40-plus women since murdered as they protested. Media attention does not justify our nation to interfere militarily. We are beyond community defense. We choose offense.
Not Going Back, a one-act play by Pompey. Cast of characters in order of appearance. Note: the abbreviation RJ stands for Reproductive Justice.
Uterus 1. Working class woman in her late 20s, Latina, child of immigrants, California West, playing a student with sign, "Fuck your bounties," parent.
Uterus 2. Middle class, indigenous, mask presenting person, trans man optional, Southern, 30s, playing an RJ worker with sign, "Support QT BIPOC-led RJ efforts and leadership." Uterus electively removed for gender-affirming surgery after giving birth. Parent.
Uterus 3. Middle class, East Asian femme presenting person, Midwestern, late 20s, playing a cultural worker with sign, "Bands off our bodies, hands off our bodies.
Uterus 4, working class white woman, 70s, playing an abortion survivor from New England with a sign, "This shit again? My body, my choice."
Act 1, Scene 1. Lighting, stage dark. All uteri sing in song.
We refuse to shelter in back rooms. We refuse their gods' forsaken skies. We refuse their bans on our bodies to tether down our lives. We refuse to leave people friendless, bleeding out as they cry. Let's move like we're worth more than these bounties on our lives. We refuse to shelter in back rooms. We refuse their gods' forsaken skies. We refuse their bans on our bodies to tether down our lives. We refuse to leave people friendless, bleeding out as they cry. Let's move like we're worth more than these bounties on our lives. Let's move like we're worth more than these bounties on our lives. Let's move, y'all.
Let's move, y'all.
Welcome, welcome. Hello.
We are squishy,
salmon,
deep, and
divine.
On our podcast, we get into how not all uteruses are the same. Even here, we can't get away from the deposit and mess that supremacist cis men trap us in.
We four are your hosts, and we don't have names.
But the way we get treated, we ought to.
Today, we will have a special episode called
Not Going Back.
Sound. Let's move like we're worth more than these bounties on our lives. Melody only hummed.
So, are we going to keep working and hoping things will be okay?
The damn audacity to say with one breath, "Don't tread on me," and with another, "Throw hands on everyone else."
Here, let's try something, huh?
With hands moving and a bunch of uterus figurines as if they're waddling in, setting up a mini court scene, looking to uterus 4, who dons a penis mask as uterus 1 places a cowboy hat on top of penis mask, trying not to giggle.
Look here, cowboy dick. See that gavel?
As uterus 1 puts up a penis mask and judge's collar with uterus 2 helping.
That's where cis men claiming they are feminists can put theirs.
Uterus 1 brings gavel down to uterus 4's penis, who fake winces. Sound of a gavel coming down on something soft.
And how do you get a dick that close to a gavel?
We flood the courtrooms with them.
Allowing the hat and penis mask to collapse and begins twirling a pink pussy hat.
Pink pussy marches wouldn't cut this.
Letting the judge's collar, penis mask collapse.
And never have.
If your stand-up doesn't look like this, we don't want to hear about it. Well, this is my fantasy anyways.
And that's how direct action is imagined.
Sex by people with uteruses.
People who are not white.
People who are disabled and fat.
People who are not cis heteronormative. People who are systemically impoverished and criminalized.
Is shamed.
That means
our bodies are shamed. It took me so long to acknowledge it was happening to me. I didn't want to believe.
Couldn't confide in friends. The shame was that great.
Didn't know such places existed. And I grew up most of my life here.
Just never put together that they were for people like me, too.
Eventually, I told a friend. She took me to Planned Parenthood.
I was shaking going into the office.
Hadn't even peed on a stick. How little care I had learned to have for my body.
My body had become this thing men were always groping.
And I was letting them. My body would get frozen.
You looking at me like I'm grown. I wanted to say, but couldn't.
Pleasure didn't even occur to me.
Sex was not something to ever talk about, not even when a suitable man is found.
Revolting. Pregnancy was never an option.
I didn't want
To bear a child to term, to become his wife by baby.
Wife?
I was taught to put such troubles out of my head. How would I ever be in such a situation?
We live such different realities. It was the opposite for me. The women in my community and I keep an eye on people with knowledge of abortion in such clinics for when things get more complicated, because
Some people still don't have access to birth control.
Plus, for some of us, rape can be inevitable out on the fields that we labor in the houses that we clean, at the restaurants that we work at.
Many years later, I realized most of my sexual encounters were not consensual. Just didn't think it was rape at the time.
We get groomed early.
further, we're taught to accept non-action on matters of sexual violence through media and press, like it's a matter of don't let it happen and it won't happen to you.
Now here we are again at risk of having rape and even systemic non-consent that is basically an abortion ban secure legislative impunity.
Arming police was something else to hound us with.
Now, plus, our stories are so different precisely because historically we get treated different. Abortion bans are rooted in eugenics and class.
The old boys club wanted to make sure girls like me stay home and churn out kids.
To make America white again.
Ugh, letting the rest of us die by neglect or be destroyed by criminalization, forced sterilization, incarceration, and so much more.
Because they haven't killed enough people already.
Can I just say, it is truly so amazing to witness how in just a few generations, protection from abject medical and carceral violence against reproductive autonomy can blossom such possibility. The confidence you all embody is astounding to me. These vile, small-minded shits. The horrors we went through, depressed for decades. I wouldn't be able to have a baby. The pain haunts me.
In college, we learned from documentaries about abortions leading to chronic, debilitating pain. Women who literally went out of their minds. The risk of lifelong addiction to painkillers, muddled with suicide. None of it reported with the real cause.
What got my great-grandmother through was hearing from women in the Whisper Network. They helped her navigate getting a procedure that used to be fairly easy to get done and overnight became dangerous.
From them, I too was affirmed that abortion is an act of care, ultimate care, however desperate.
Abortion is a refusal to participate in conditions that have no regard for the lives already here, including the birthing person's own and the life being compelled to be brought into existence.
I witnessed with my own eyes so many women attempting family planning, the primary caretaker, main breadwinner, their children absolutely ruined.
PCF came about and took away and continues to take away children of color by the largest margins.
Anti-poor, systemically racist, a deadly economic sanction imposed, passed off as collateral damage, but in actuality, deliberately designed to benefit correction institutions of all kinds.
Ultimately, since the dawn of Darwinian evolution, it was Black midwives being targeted by white male obstetricians. Yeah, given this nation's history, why is it surprising to know that, of course, most midwives were Black? How do we not connect then that it is Black women most commonly bleeding out in back alleys when punitive abortion laws get passed?
White people are responsible for perpetuating this violence. We don't get to be innocent.
We thank all those who tirelessly work to push into existence legislature like Roe v. Wade and services like Planned Parenthood around the world.
We thank those who perform and administer access to safer abortions when the state chooses violence.
Thank you for keeping us safe.
We thank organizers and culture workers for their fight for the dignity of terrified people with uteruses living oppressed in the so-called USA.
Thank you for ensuring that we have a future.
They say only 0.05% of any given population does anything revolutionary in a way that can be felt.
So how might we contribute to supporting this 0.05%?
We all carry complex identities. But if you were born with a dick and your only concern is if it is adequate or where to put it, you have work to do.
Don't just stand there with your dick in your hand.
Electively get on contraception. Make it normal that it's the right thing for cis-het men to do.
Dick or no dick, if you're wealthy, if you're white.
If you have a W-2 job, without exception.
We need you to contribute to abortion and bail funds in all affected states. We need you to fund abortion doula trainings. We need you to fund policy work to overturn this repeal. Organize your communities. And while you heed calls for action by organizers of color, it's not reproductive justice if it's not led by people of color.
Let's move like we're worth more than these bounties of our lives. Abortion is about choice. The choice to refuse the suffocating vision patriarchy has for us. The choice to live our best lives in community. We are water. We deserve clean water. We are air. We deserve to breathe. We are sun. We deserve to be in it. We are earth. We deserve respect.
Right on. We won't go back.
There is no going back. What is repro justice? What is repro justice? Repro justice is racial justice.
Is housing justice.
Is food justice.
Is disability justice.
Is migrant justice.
Is gender justice.
Is economic justice.
Is climate justice. Is land rights and land back.
Sound outro, bluesy jazz recording. As the sound fades,
we thank you, our listeners, for tuning in, fighting for our squishy, our salmon, our deep, our divine, every damn day. Let's move, y'all.
Lights black out.
I am so glad to be joined today by Greer Hamilton, a board member of the Eastern Massachusetts Abortion Fund and a PhD candidate at the Boston University School of Social Work. Greer is a researcher and advocate whose practice is concerned with the intersections of racial justice, health equity, place, and the built environment, and gender. We are really excited to talk with you, Greer, because the National Network of Abortion Funds is doing important frontline work in helping to navigate reproductive health care in a post-Roe country. Can you tell us a little bit about the network and the work you do through the Eastern Massachusetts chapter?
Yeah, so the National Network of Abortion Funds is a national network of about 100 abortion funds that serve people in the United States and also internationally. It's been around for a while now and just provides us with technical support and resources that local grassroots funds or nonprofit style abortion funds might need.
So how does an abortion fund work? I think there are people who've heard the term, but they're not quite sure what that means.
Mm-hmm. So for one, abortion funds tend to be really local. So each locality has their different approach to what abortion funds can and cannot do. Abortion funds typically are focused on funding an abortion procedure, though there are some abortion funds that also offer transportation or other types of like practical support that would be needed to support the person greater than the procedure. So for Eastern Massachusetts, we will cover the cost of a person's abortion as long as they're traveling to what we define as Eastern Massachusetts, which is west or east of Worcester. And we also can provide some support for practical support needs like travel, like Lyft rides or hotels if needed.
And so for the people that make up the abortion fund, this chapter, is it people who are on staff or volunteers? How does it work if somebody contacts the abortion funds? What's their experience like?
Yeah, so on the Emma Fund, which again is short for Eastern Massachusetts Fund, we just go by Emma because it's briefer. We are made up of 6 board members who have a range of expertise. Some of the folks have experience in independent health clinics. Some people are researchers, some folks are lawyers, right? There's also an administrator on our board. We also have 2 paid hotline staff, which is different from a lot of other abortion funds. And so what would happen is if a person called our line, they would get one of our 2 staff members, or they would leave a voicemail, and one of our 2 staff members would return their call, get more information about where they're traveling from, what are their needs, what financially can they contribute to their procedure, if anything at all. Again, we don't demand that people be able to contribute to their procedure. And then we'll work to connect them to a clinic and to, again, make any of those other necessary appointments or reservations for people, again, around like hotels or travel, if that was a need.
I'm curious, have you seen a change in the way people are interacting with this chapter since the decision was announced from the Supreme Court?
Yeah, we have seen people from Texas specifically, but other southern states coming to Boston over the past few months. In particular, Boston's been a really, or not really big draw, but it's been increasingly seen as a place where people will be traveling to because of the fact that there are so many colleges here. So people tend to know folks living in the greater Boston area, and so feel comfortable coming here because they have someone, right, to be able to be offered support by. And so because of that, that's what we're seeing, is that people are coming here since the Dobbs decision because they have some sort of support network. And so we're just able to offer one additional type of support.
I imagine that the Eastern Massachusetts chapter, because it is connected up with the full network, does this chapter collaborate with other chapters, either within the state or within the country? And how does that work for you?
Yeah, so there are actually 4 abortion funds in Massachusetts alone. So there's the Emma Fund, the Jane Fund of Central Massachusetts, the Abortion Rights Fund of Western Massachusetts, and the Tides Fund for Reproductive Freedom. The Jane Fund, Emma Fund, and the Western Fund are regional funds. So again, they serve certain parts of the state. And then Tides actually covers all of the state. So if anyone's traveling and there's a gap that one of the funds have. So we work internally with those other 3 funds. There's also different channels of communication with the other funds in the region, as well as across the country. So if there is someone traveling and they need, again, a point person from a fund, right, we are always connected through that. Or people in New Hampshire, for example, will contact us if there's a need for additional funding support for a person who's traveling either to the Boston area or having a procedure done in New Hampshire. So there's a lot of existing relationships that funds have relied on to make sure that people are able to access their needs.
One thing that I'm sure is not news to you is that I think when people are talking about reproductive justice issues, there has been, maybe in the past, a tendency to look at it as a standalone issue, siloed from other social justice issues, other issues that are more interconnected, right? So I think there has been a tendency not to look at reproductive justice as connected to housing justice, climate justice, abolition issues, voting rights and disenfranchisement issues. I'm curious for you, especially given your own areas of study and research, how do you help frame reproductive justice as part of this larger constellation of things that can't be separated from one another?
Yeah, so I think for me, I always start with naming the fact that like all of the things, right, like voting rights or housing or climate, right, are all interconnected and all dependent, right? And shaped by systems of oppression, right? So racism and white supremacy, right? And that those systems create these conditions that we have. And that what's interesting, and even though people don't make the connection, is bodily autonomy is directly related to almost all issues, right? People's bodies have been politicized, not just in terms of their ability to access reproductive health care, but right, if you think about right, voting rights and who's able to geographically access voting polls, right? Or literacy tests that were about that, or even about like mass incarceration and like what we know is that there's been a lot of racially charged decisions made around how people are policed and how they are subsequently like incarcerated, right? All of those things are connected, right, by a human body, right, by the fact that literally people have been put into places of power that allows for our bodies to be regulated in different ways that are unjust, right? And so my issues as a person who is capable of having a pregnancy, right, are dependent on my ability to have safe housing and are dependent on like the air I breathe, right? All of those factors are deeply interconnected. So when one thing goes, right, it's not hard to believe that other rights or other forms of justice might also be challenged.
Yeah. So we are located in Boston. Obviously, folks may meet this conversation who live outside of Boston, but for this moment, what are some things that from your vantage point in the work that you do, the research that you're engaged in, and the sort of where you see things, not only from with the abortion funds, but in general, what are some things in Boston that that are really either interesting and positive developments that you're seeing, or issues that you're really concerned about and you feel like people should be paying closer attention to?
Yeah, there's many things, but I think in terms of like abortion and reproductive justice, I think one thing is to remind people that while Dobbs has radically like reshaped the landscape of abortion rights, that even before Roe fell, right, that people did not have access to abortions, right? That geographically people were in places where abortion clinics were not, or that, right, age or gender identity, right, other factors, right, contributed people to not having an abortion before June happened, right? So I think first is, I think, asking people to really become educated about this topic, that like it's not new as much as like it's been in the news recently, and this is not new. And so there's a lot of history, right, that I think people need to be aware of. And that also, even in Massachusetts, access to abortion, while there's a ton of abortion clinics here, right, and there's, again, 4 abortion funds that can offer support, people's experience in the Berkshires are very different than people's experience in Boston, right? And so even when we talk about geographic restrictions, we have to be thinking about what does that look like in our own state? And I think people tend to kind of gloss over that. There's also this really great coalition of organizations that's called Beyond Roe, or Beyond Roe Coalition. And it's a group of organizations related to like Planned Parenthood, Reproductive Equity Now, and some other folks who are thinking about, now that we've codified Roe into Massachusetts state law, what are the other ways that we can think about how to expand access to reproductive health? Because reproductive health, again, is not just abortion focused. It's your ability to get birth control. It's your ability to like see different doctors without high co-pays, right? Like all of those things are a part of reproductive health. And so would encourage people to learn more about that coalition's work and other ways that the state is thinking about codifying policies to protect reproductive health. And then we've also been trying to encourage people to think about their language use around abortion, because again, because it's a hot topic right now, people have been talking more about it, but not always, right? Thinking about the fact that just because you identify as a woman does not mean you're going to have an abortion, right? Other people have abortions. And so we want to be really mindful about language and encouraging people to learn more about that. So birthing people, right? Pregnant people, right? Like thinking about how do we make our language more inclusive. And then also making sure that we're not stigmatizing people who are having abortions by using language related to like the Underground Railroad for abortions, or choosing not to say the word abortion, right? Like there's actually a lot more harm that is done when we're not actively naming that abortion is the thing that we're focused on. So I think for me and for the work of Emma right now, we're trying to educate people as much as possible because there's a lot of misunderstandings people have about abortion because it hasn't been a heavily talked about topic for, unfortunately, a long time, even though a lot of people have abortions. I think in like 2018, it was like 1 in 4 women, which is what they were studying, according to Planned Parenthood, had an abortion, right? So that's 25% at least, right, of our population. So yeah, I think get educated, learn more, ask questions. Don't assume that because you don't know something that it doesn't exist or there's not a resource for it, right? There probably is out there. You just have to do a little digging.
Hi, my name is Kyan Douglas. My pronouns are she, her, and I'll be sharing a piece from Untitled Horror Story. So the impulse for this, I started writing pages from it about a year ago. I had taken a class called Horrific Playwriting with Courtney Meeker through the Playwright Center about how to use horror in your plays. And it was also around this time that sort of the looming idea of overturning Roe came up. So that was sort of percolating in my head, or how can I use the horror and that tongue-in-cheek sort of thing as an entry point to discuss an even greater horror that we are facing. So there's that. And then also what I'm attempting to do with this piece is there's a lot of harmful tropes that get perpetuated, the omission of Black characters in horror, and specifically the omission of Black ghosts. So I'm trying to attack that. And then also this idea that the white patriarchy has to be restored at the end of like a turbulent horror experience. Spoiler alert, that is not how this play will end. So yeah, I had written some, and then monster culture, this idea of like, what monsters do we create, why do we create them, and how can they teach us about who we are, and how can that translate into an actionable step. So that is what I'm trying to do with this play. I'd written little bits of it, and then when the opportunity to share with Vault Lab and Company One came up, I was like, you know what, I think there's a section a little bit further down which I haven't written, which might really speak to the prompt, which my prompt was that we demand abortion be accessible, compassionate, affirming for all identities, and safe for everyone who needs it, free of politically motivated barriers and without a cost barrier to care. So yeah, I hope you enjoy these pages. Actionable steps that we can all do: vote, 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 vote. So important. The midterm elections are coming up, so get out there and vote. Get out there and protest if you're able to, donate if you're able to, and get involved, volunteer. And then lastly, just share your story. Share your story. I think so much of around this issue, there's a lot of shame and stigma, and the more we can share each other's stories and hold space for that, I think that that is a crucial and important part, and something that I'm attempting to do in this work.
A scene from An Untitled Horror Story by Kyan Douglas. Dick wakes up in the cabin. The whole room is tidied up. Did he have a dream? Yes, it was a dream. Certainly a dream. Woo! Dick tries to stand, but is sore everywhere. Maybe it wasn't a dream. Dick looks around. His body is still giant and puffy. Clara enters.
Oh, good. You're awake.
Dick scrambles to cover himself up with the blanket.
How are you feeling? Oh, better, I bet. What?
Get away from me.
Oh, I'm just trying to help.
Clara walks over to the bassinet and looks inside.
Take it away.
Oh, it's adorable.
Clara reaches down to pick up the thing.
No, don't. It just stopped.
Crying? Yeah, they do that.
Reaching down further.
No, please don't wake it.
The thing lets out a noise.
There you go. Rise and shine. You hungry? I think the little boo-boo needs to eat.
Dick goes to move, but a sudden pain shoots through his penis. He grabs at it.
Ah!
Are we a little sore? Let's have a look.
Clara peeks under the covers from the bottom of the bed.
Oh, yeah. We're quite swollen, aren't we?
We?
Had some tearing too.
Clara whips out a massive needle and taps it at its side. A squirt of liquid shoots into the air.
What are you gonna do with that?
Clara puts her head under the covers as Dick tries to get away from her.
No! No! No, no, no!
Oh, hold still, will ya?
Clara injects him.
There. Just a little numbing agent. You should start to feel better in no time.
The thing lets out a cry. It sounds like a feral animal.
Oh, right on cue.
Clara crosses back to the bassinet and picks up the thing.
Oh, there. You're just a little hungry, aren't you? Here you go.
Clara hands Dick the thing. He scrambles to get away from it.
Ah!
The thing grabs him.
Get it off me! Stop! I can't see, I can't breathe. Did you see that? It tried to kill me.
Oh, don't be silly. It's just hungry.
Clara rips open his shirt and pokes the bundle to his chest.
Ah!
Oh, it takes time getting used to it.
Dick tries to leave, but Clara holds up a pair of handcuffs that look more like a torture device.
Now, sit still before I have to cuff you to the bed. You know, they have these crazy little spikes on the inside, so if you try to jab or jerk yourself out, they dig in sharp and prick deep with every bit of struggle. And I think your body's been through enough already because of this little culprit. Okay, now feed it before we both get fussy.
Clara throws the thing on his chest.
Do you have a bottle?
Bottle? No. Use what nature gave you.
Dick looks down at his chest. His nipples are engorged. The thing's mouth, like a magnet, is drawn to his chest. It clamps on.
Ah!
There you go.
Dick's face grows from horror to pain to catatonic discomfort. Then finally, a satisfied ah from the thing. Dick looks down at his chest.
I'm bleeding.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. That's not uncommon. You just need time for your nipples to stiffen up.
The sound of a heartbeat heard through a sonogram machine underscores the following section. It starts quiet and builds.
I need to get away. I need to get out of here.
The time for that is past.
This can't be happening.
It's surreal, right? Kind of feels like the life you didn't choose.
Please, I need to get back to my family.
I never got back to my family.
I deserve to live my life without being encumbered by this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, funny. You never saw it like that before now.
Look, I'm sorry. I need to go now.
But your baby.
It's not my.
It is.
And it's not.
What?
A baby.
Silence. The sonogram heartbeat audio at fever pitch.
But it has a heartbeat.
No. No. No!
It starts to cry. Dick gets a deranged look in his eye. He slowly walks over to what suddenly looks like a small, helpless thing. The heartbeat and the crying should intensify this moment. Dick speaks as if he's in a trance.
It's just a thing. It's just a thing.
Dick eyes a paperweight in the shape of an American flag.
It's just a thing.
He grabs the paperweight.
It's just
Clara knocks it out of his hand.
Don't you dare! Remember who you are. Remember what you stand for.
Dick is reduced to a puddle of confusion.
Sorry, I got confused.
Okay, Dick. It's very common to feel this way after birth.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm sorry, I just needed to.
Your world just got turned upside down. Your body is not your own. Your world has shifted on its axis, but that's not excuse for violence.
No excuse for,
We can get you help.
yeah, help.
Talk to someone.
Someone.
Above all, we must choose life.
Life. My life.
No, you fucking idiot. The thing's life.
The thing clamps onto his nipple again.
Ah!
Dick beats the thing to death. It should be blackout. Dick!
Honey,
You're home.
thank God.
Did you have a good time?
Do you feel better, Dad?
Now I do.
Oh, good. Good. You look worlds better, too.
I feel like I've been to another universe.
And back.
Elaine grabs Dick around the waist and pulls him close.
Come here, you little alien.
Ew.
The only kind I like. None of those nasty illegals.
Elaine plants a big kiss on his lips.
Stop! I'm right here.
I think I need a shower.
Shower after.
After
Elaine grabs at his crotch. Dick is still very swollen. Elaine is pleased.
Oh.
my. Honey.
Absence doesn't just make the heart grow stronger.
Dick pulls away.
Ew! I'm literally puking in my mouth right now.
Oh, come on. You're part of a rare statistic of kids that have parents who actually love each other.
That's not love, and I'm not a kid.
Something moves past the window.
What was that?
What?
That.
Nothing, honey.
I thought I saw something.
Oh, yeah. We changed out the curtains while you were gone. I know you don't like me making decisions without the man of the house here, but doesn't it look so much better? Lighter, airier?
Oh, yeah. It does.
Come on. I have your favorite on the table.
They all sit down.
Iz has something exciting to share.
I do?
Yes, you do.
Oh, yeah. I got an A in biology.
Oh, good. Good.
That's all, honey.
Are you sure you don't see anything out there? A shadow or
No, Dickie. Now don't tell me you still have the jumpers. I thought your little trip was supposed to nip that in the bud.
It did. I
The lights start to flicker.
Now that's weird.
It's not even raining.
Could be a brownout. Honey, go check the fuse thing, breaker.
Dick doesn't move.
Honey, can you check it? In the garage, or...
Dick doesn't move.
That's okay. You're still tired. I get it. Totally. You should rest. You know, I've become pretty self-reliant while you're away. Watch out, or I might turn on you and become a lesbian. Okay, I'll go take a look. Be right back.
Dad, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
You seem different.
Different?
Different problem.
Elaine enters with a headlamp and holding as many lanterns and flashlights as she can.
We didn't pop a fuse, but it looks like the whole town is out. They usually don't last too long. And in the meantime, lanterns. This could be kind of fun, kind of.
Elaine turns around, illuminating an unexpected face.
Elaine!
Mom?
Dick and Iz run to Elaine.
Help, an intruder!
I'm not an intruder.
Call the police.
An intruder is someone who doesn't belong here.
Elaine goes to grab for the phone. It shocks her.
Oh!
I very much belong.
Dick and Iz appear in the doorway.
Oh my God.
Who are you?
Why don't you ask your husband?
You know her?
No.
Come on.
What?
I've seen his penis.
Ew! Is she telling the truth?
No. Yes. No. No.
Are you having an affair?
No.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, Dick.
Mom,
Don't fuck this up for us. No. After all that we've sacrificed to be here, not another one. Not again.
again?
Screeching is heard. They look around for Clara. Nothing.
Where did she go?
They all take lanterns and walk throughout the space.
Now, tell me who she is. So when we find her, I know what to do. I don't care about the rest of it. Now, just tell me now.
She was a
so I
woman at
know.
the hotel. She's crazed.
I'm not crazy.
Who are you?
A ghost. Boo!
Mom,
Get upstairs.
I would never hurt her. Now that's a promise I can't make.
I'm calling Secret Service.
No, don't. We need to keep this quiet. We can't let this get out.
Then someone tell me what the what is.
Oh, I'm about to, but first I want to give your precious Dickie one more chance to explain. It's you or me. But if it's me, you'll be sorry.
Something happened in the woods.
On your retreat.
Yeah, it wasn't.
What happened? Is it the opposition, the other campaign? They always play dirty.
She's here because she doesn't like the bill I passed on abortion.
A lefty. I knew it. Tell us who you really are.
I did.
You're not a ghost.
How I wish that were true. It wouldn't be true if it weren't for.
Dad? You killed someone?
No.
Didn't you?
No.
He did.
Liar.
Many people admit it. Tell them now or I will.
Dick opens his mouth, but then instead goes to run. Clara's arm extends far beyond her body. She reaches into his throat and pulls out his tongue.
Mom!
Get upstairs.
No, she'll stay here. You'll all stay here. It's time to listen.
Elaine starts inching towards her purse.
You're going to be put in jail. You know that? When they find you.
Oh, they won't.
They will hunt you down.
They have.
You'll be dead.
Too late.
Elaine grabs her purse and pulls out a tiny pink gun. She shoots Clara. Bang! It goes right through her. Elaine looks at the gun and then to her. Impossible. She tries again. Bang! It goes right through her. Again. Bang! 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 Realizing that she has no defense, Elaine backs up.
What is it about you people? All of you. You never believe we know who we are.
What do you want from us?
Retribution. Truth. For the hypocrisy to stop. For you to stop hurting women like me.
If this is about the abortion bill Dickie mentioned, I'm very sorry, miss, but we're just trying to save lives.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
I'm very much dead, if you haven't noticed. But what life was saved here? You're not stopping anything. You're starting a revolution.
Clara has Elaine cornered.
No, get back.
Clara grabs Elaine's neck.
We have a right to choose. We have a right not to be treated like criminals. We have a right to govern our own bodies, our lives, if we're lucky enough to have them.
Okay. Why don't you just tell me why you're so upset? Maybe we can talk, make it better, negotiate.
I don't negotiate with terrorists. That's a Bush quote. You should know it.
Please.
Claire releases Elaine's neck and walks away.
1994. Dick Abbott passes a bill that led to the shutting down of 8 abortion clinics.
What?
You backed expanding it years later.
I'm sorry, but I don't support baby murderers.
Oh, but you support adult murderers.
What? No.
It was the year after that.
You're putting words in my mouth.
I was about to go to med school.
You're the one who's been violent.
That's the woman who just tried to shoot me 8 times.
Self-defense.
In what world? Anyway, I got pregnant.
Congratulations.
No, not congratulations. I had just gone into med school. I was supposed to be... My best friend and I were going to be doctors.
What does that have to do with what?
Because of him. Because of people like you. My roommate and I drove 6.5 hours into the night. Scared. Terrified. I couldn't... When we got there, it was still dark. It was a shack. A shack, okay? The place where I was supposed... It didn't look clean. It didn't feel safe. The person who was supposed to perform... No one seemed to really know what they were doing. But I talked myself out of it. This time tomorrow, it'll all be over.
Life is a gift.
Damn straight, Elaine.
How do you know my name?
That's what I thought anyway. My life a gift. Over a collection of cells, I laid down on the makeshift bed and focused on the ceiling. There was this sticker of a blue bird, and I just kept thinking that when I wake up, I'll be like that. I'll be like that bird and fly high. I'll be free. Count backwards, they said. Just close your eyes and count backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, and then it all went 6, 5, 4. Slowly. 3, 2. Dark. I never got to 1. I never made it back to 1.
Clara starts to advance towards Elaine.
And now it's your turn.
What?
Count backwards, Elaine.
No.
Count.
No. What? I'm sorry.
Count.
I didn't do anything wrong. I stand for life. I will not have blood on my hands.
You do already.
Clara advances.
Dear God. Please, God. Dear God. Please, God.
Elaine's wrists open up and 2 streams of blood come pouring down her hands.
Oh, my hands.
You have mine.
My hands. Make it stop.
It's not up to me.
Of course it is.
You have to tell the truth.
I have.
About what you've done.
I.
About everything. Everything that you've done. State it.
Okay. I supported Nick in his campaign to shut down the clinics. I voted to put a bounty on the heads of women who tried to flee to other states. I campaigned for criminalizing the act. I signed a petition. I stood outside Planned Parenthood. I made signs, sang songs, held up pictures of fetuses. It's not stopping. Make it stop.
Not about that. Not about all that stuff. No one needs to hear you say that. About you.
Me?
You, Elaine. It won't stop until you do.
Okay. I
lived in a city.
I had
money.
I had
access.
I had an abortion.
Elaine lets an audible exhale she's been holding in for 20 years.
I
lived.
You
didn't.
I had a
right to life.
I'm so
So ashamed. Clara puts out a hand. Elaine flinches, then accepts. They look to each other. There's understanding, but no trust.
That's not what you have to be ashamed of. It's the silence.
Silence.
Hello, my name is Raquel Sahadio, and the name of my play is Small Town Demands Reproductive Rights. I believe it is important to discuss a woman's right to choose and govern her own body. The play encourages everyone to question our upbringings and community thinking and make informed decisions for ourselves and in our lives. Enjoy the play.
Small Town Demands Reproductive Rights, a play by Raquel Sahadio. On a hot July day, there is a crowd of about 100 local residents protesting outside their town's government building at 11 a.m. The groups are divided into 3 camps: those in favor of Councilwoman Jacqueline Moore, those against the councilwoman, and protesters against the overturning of Roe v. Wade legislation. Maya Blake, a beautiful young Black woman who is 22, hurries from town hall riding her bike. Maya, wearing her favorite well-worn purple flannel shirt, short jean shorts, and a colorful African headdress, drops her bike after riding 1 mile to her friend's house nearby. Maya walks briskly up to his porch and wipes her forehead with her shirt's sleeve before talking to James Houston. James is sitting on his porch in a rocking chair with his feet up on the porch rails. James is drinking a cold beverage and snacking on a bag of Cheetos. He's 23.
Hey, James, we need to go to town hall right now. This is a crazy day for the town.
What are you talking about? It's not even noon yet.
What are you doing right now? We have to go downtown to protest and support her.
Now? Support who? It's my day off.
We have to support Councilwoman Moore. She needs more supporters at Murat Town Hall. The other side is growing.
Growing? The only thing growing around here is more rumors, our town's orange tree groves, and weed plants. Nothing is that serious here.
Yes, it is. Listen to me. Councilwoman Moore announced her disregard of the new abortion legislation and shared her story to the world.
What is the big deal about Jackie? We all know her story. She went to high school with us, then went up north to Harvard University. Then she came back down with all of her education and ran town council. What is so big about her story?
She was the first Black valedictorian at the high school. Well, the first ever so far. Councilwoman Jacqueline Moore is one of the few who made it out of this small town.
Well, so did you too, Maya. You left and came back.
I saw how successful she was in the school and modeled her same path.
Nah. I wonder if it's the oranges or something in the water. In Murat, that makes people stay.
I left, but I just went to the University of Miami. Jackie went up north, past New York City.
You did more than me, more than a lot of people I know. For me, I just moved up to supervisor of the shop. Not a bad raise, though.
Pay attention, James. We need to help Councilwoman Moore. Please get ready for us to go down and support her.
For what? We barely know her. She was a senior and not in our freshman friend circle.
Listen, I just ran into the crowd forming at town hall protesting against violators of the new law. You know that law is bringing us back to 50 years ago?
It's been that long since the law was in effect. Wow. So what now?
They're all protesting about Councilwoman who had the abortion. She publicly said that she's against the new law and is in favor of abortion and a woman's right to choose. She had the right to choose in college and supports others having the same rights.
Miss Goody Two Shoes from Murat had an abortion. Impossible. That is fake news.
It's true.
All lies. Don't start trouble in our small town.
The problem is that she is a public official. I think it's awesome she would risk her career to publicly denounce the new law and state her situation to the world.
Marat is not the world. No one in this town would have watched or read about her story if it was on the local channel news. We'd be working in this town.
Well, she put it on social media and had TV interviews about her story. It's a national story now, maybe even globally.
It's risky in this political climate, to be honest. People will judge her as being impulsive and loose in her personal life.
It happened when she was in college. She was only 19 years old.
Oh, dang. Right after she left our town to go to college? Whose baby was it? Ricky's?
Does it matter? She chose to not continue with the pregnancy. I think she's brave to tell others. She is a hero to women's rights.
Well, people in Marat and in this state will look at her as careless and selfish.
She was concerned about her future goals and health concerns at the time.
Jackie ain't sick. She just chose her future over a baby. Was that her choice to make?
Yes, it was. I thought you were in favor of women's rights. Are you?
Yes, but I'm just telling you what people are thinking. What the people say matters.
Nope. She's a modern day truthsayer.
That's one perspective you can look at it.
Maybe she is more like a women's rights warrior.
Nah. People in this town will think of her more as a heartless heathen.
Councilwoman Moore is not heartless, careless, or irresponsible. It's her choice and not ours to judge.
Well, maybe Jackie was careless and selfish. She's now Councilwoman Moore, who will be judged by her past and history.
I think she's admirable for her courage and is valued as a community leader.
Society judges everything we do, our past, present, and future actions. Do you think they are not going to judge her as well? In this state, Councilwoman Jackie is not considered not God-fearing to make a decision like that to her body. Her career is dead. She should have kept her personal business quiet.
Well, I'm glad she didn't fight in silence. I stand by her. Now our small town needs to make a decision. Will the Marat residents support her or lose her?
In the end, the town will choose their archaic values. She'll resign under the pressure of it all.
Maybe not. When I was writing to your house, I saw signs that read champion of women's rights and abortion is healthcare.
Well, did you forget to read the signs that read heartless councilwoman and destructive town official?
Be quiet. You sound so uneducated at times.
I am proudly educated from Marat Regional Vocational High School, go Cats, and spiritually educated at Marat AME Baptist Church. I am just saying, I know what people are saying in these streets out here.
You are so silly. But let's go. We need to support our fellow Wildcats high school.
How? Hold a sign and scream out that there isn't a heathen? What do you want me to say?
I want you to be excited that she spoke up and shared about her personal life publicly. She represents many women who are not in favor of the new legislation.
I do agree that Jackie has a right to make a decision in her personal life, aside from her jobs' policies. But holding a sign will not make one bit of a difference in this crazy town.
The protest is being televised on a national level. Now, since you agree, let's go and support her downtown.
It's my day off. I was going to take another nap after I had a drink before noon.
A drink can wait. We have the world to change.
I think Jackie needs a drink more than me.
Come on and get dressed. You can be so rude sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. I blame that all on my mother's raising me. She made all her kids crazy. Back to Jackie's business. Did she really have to make a speech on TV about her abortion? Like, what was she thinking? People don't do that down here. Black people can keep a secret of death, deny it until you die.
That is the biggest problem in our community. James, we are always hiding our feelings, our hurt, and placating others. We told our trauma and crumble behind closed doors. We need to be real with each other and ourselves.
Maya, you are so woke. Going to school to get your social worker degree has made you so patient, loving, and understanding. I hate it sometimes. Let the ignorant people stay ignorant some days. We are good over here.
Working with the local town shelter has helped me change my thoughts. We need to be alive, present, more humane, and operate in transparency with with each other. That's why I admire Councilwoman Moore.
Okay, Miss Truesayer. Next time when I ask you, do I look good in my neon green jumpsuit? Please lie to me when I first put it on and after about 4 beers as well. I promote faux positive affirmations.
Come on, James, you're stalling. Get your shoes on and drive us both downtown to help support Councilwoman Moore. Her speech starts soon. The news crews are passing me on the road to downtown to set up.
You biked from there to here?
I love to bike. It's healthy.
If woke is that healthy, I am not interested.
I don't want to miss her speech. I want to stand by her side and vote for her in the September primary elections. Please come with me and drive.
There may not be a vote in September for her. Hell, by now her career will be forever tainted. She does better moving to California or Massachusetts with more liberal rules and thinking.
Move away? That's absurd. Why does she need to move?
I almost got ran out of town when I came out as bisexual. My mother helped me greatly when she was alive. She would threaten anyone that said crap about me or threatened to not bake her 7-Up and red velvet cake at the church gatherings if she heard one word against my lifestyle. People didn't play about my mother's bacon. She had oven power and clout in the church. I was safe and free, but many kids coming out are not, nor have a mother that would scorn anyone that spit or looked at me in disgust. Who is supporting Jackie? Who is our councilwoman's entourage of supporters who have that power, clout, or prestige to quiet the haters and protesters? Who will be by her side in power?
We will. Us, me, you. That's horrible how you were treated, James. Which is why I think we need to change our town's small town thinking. We have more work to do to support women's and LGBTQ plus reproductive rights.
Maya, sometimes I think you forget you don't live in Miami anymore. This is Murat, Florida. We go to work Mondays through Fridays, watch the high school football game, BBQ and drink on Saturdays, and attend church on Sunday. Everybody got a kid or two. It's what we do here. Breed here, live here, drink here, die here.
We don't know Councilwoman Moore's story of why she needed an abortion, but I support her decision, and based on her performance as a town official thus far, she has made good decisions for the town. I think she would make a great state representative for the county.
Jackie? Oh no. She will have to move. Her career is over in Florida. It's very sad. She has served her town well for the past 2 years.
Why do you keep calling Councilwoman Moore Jackie? Give her some respect.
Child, please. I went to elementary school with her until high school. She was Jackie then, and now the same old Jackie.
She's more than a Jackie of Murat. Councilwoman Jacqueline Moore is bringing a spotlight to the new legislation to dismantle Roe v. Wade protections.
We shall see the outcome of her public announcement at noon today.
If we go and show support for her, she will feel like her decision to tell the truth was respected and upheld in her community. We can't lose her because of people's ignorance.
These same people's ignorance changed the law. The entire nation must adhere to their ignorant demands now.
No, we don't. We must fight and support officials who are risking their careers to create access for abortions.
How? No one talks about abortions on a public scale. We all know someone that needed a procedure for various reasons. However, we have made it forbidden to have a conversation with one another about abortion and reproductive justice. Society birthed this change of the law.
I don't understand your reasoning. Are you saying because we failed to publicly bring awareness to the protection of society, we lost?
Exactly. Lots of people never thought about it because it didn't pertain to them, but they got pregnant and wanted their kid, thinking it's all a simple process, not realizing there are other factors some people encounter who desperately need access to options and make a choice. Maybe the woman was assaulted or the baby will be medically disadvantaged. There are lots of reasons a woman may need an abortion. The Supreme Court justices don't care anymore. They ruled for someone else's interests. I am still trying to figure that out though. If a child is not wanted or would not be loved, should the woman continue with the pregnancy? I don't think so, but it's not our choice anymore.
It's a woman's choice, not yours. You're a man.
It's a decision that men make too with women. We lost with this new legislation as well. Some of us don't want to be fathers and agree alongside the women for an abortion. Some men even pay for the abortion. Sometimes it's the final chapter to a story, never to open again, talk about or relive.
I never thought about that. James, you make a good point. Now, come on so we can hear the speech.
James stands up out of his porch rocking chair. He stretches and yawns while putting on his shoes. He walks over to grab his car keys and wallet and walks toward his car. James continues to talk to Maya while in the car driving.
I'm happy Jackie's speaking her truth.
I'm outraged at how people are treating her. I'm glad you will protest with me at town hall.
I can come today, but I heard they're going to be protesting at the Miami City Hall tomorrow. I am not driving south and don't want to pay any tolls to get there. I just think the law will not change, especially in the Sunshine State.
I am hopeful it will change, am I right, today and eventually the Tallahassee State Capitol. People will not be afraid to tell the truth and that they had abortions. It's a national healthcare matter.
Don't you wish that Miami was our state's capital? We would all be on reality TV.
Not really.
Well, Jackie would definitely have a parade because of her story, not a campaign protest in Miami.
Stay focused on driving. We have about 10 minutes before Councilwoman Moore speaks. The Channel 4 NBC News and Channel 5 Fox News fans are already here. This is going to be big.
I don't know if Murat, Florida needs to be on anyone's national news. We will look like some country backwater protesters.
James parks the car and both of them get out to walk towards the building. The crowd has expanded from the morning to about 600 people surrounding the front of the two-story brick town hall building. There are at least 4 news reporters and crew stationed in the front of the podium at the top of the steps. Town hall security and police are engulfed in the crowd due to the large numbers. Councilwoman Jacqueline Moore stands confidently near the podium in a navy blue pantsuit with a colorful scarf. She is waiting patiently and waving to the crowd, smiling and clapping at her supporters.
Grab 2 poster signs over there. We have to represent and support our councilwoman proudly.
At this point, we're either for or against her with this crowd. I hate crowds.
She is so brave to do this. Thanks for coming with me, James. My uterus, my rules, free my body, free my body, my uterus, my rules.
I can't believe all these people are here. What do I yell out, Maya?
I'd say women's rights are human rights.
Women's rights are human rights. Let women choose.
I noticed license plates from Georgia, the Carolinas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and other counties from Florida I never heard of. Her announcement will really be good.
It better be with this large crowd in our small town.
The entire nation will hear and respect someone that had an abortion and is a striving, productive, and respectable citizen and politician. Women's rights are human rights. Let women choose. Free my body. My My uterus.
My uterus, my
rules.
rules.
Free your
Free
mind.
your mind.
Woo! Look, she's ready to speak.
Lights slowly dim on James and Maya. They both smile at each other and raise one fist in the air and the other hand holding their supporters' signs.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to Town Hall to support me and women across the country to their right to an abortion and reproductive health care. To many local residents, I am their beloved Jackie, who was born and raised here. Now I graciously stand here proud before you as Jacqueline Iris Moore, a Murat Town Councilwoman who had an abortion. I made a decision that was based solely on my physical health and my mental health needs at the time. I stand confident in the decision I made at 19 years old, knowing it was best for me, my body, and future. I can't imagine the government taking my decision away from me. I support women making their own informed decision without demands on our bodies and minds. My decision years ago has not shadowed my work and support to the residents of Murat over my political career. I have pushed for legislation at the county level to benefit our children, our public services, and workforce industry. I only ask the town to embrace me, respect my informed decision in having an abortion, and the future of women who want access to abortion. Today, unitedly, we demand that people having abortions and who have had abortions are seen and valued as leaders with representation, support, and affirmation. I am invaluable and worthy. Women like me who choose to have an abortion are also invaluable and worthy. These are our small town demands.
Woo!
Cheers and a loud applause engulf her words. Lights dim to blackness.
An enormous thank you to all the artists and activists who helped create reproductive liberty and body justice for all. You can find more information about the participants in this event via the links in the chat and on our website. They are working towards a better future, and we hope you'll join us in this work.
Because the only way to do it is together. To that end, please consider making a donation to Company One Theater in order to support our future events as we continue to build community at the intersection of art and social change. To donate, visit company1.org/donate. You'll also find that link and our Venmo handle in the description for this video.
Finally, if you're fired up and ready to take action, be sure to check out our event page, which is also linked in the video description, to find resources and steps you can take in your community and within your own circles.
Thanks again for joining us to imagine a better future for us all. We'll see you next time.